Christians spent centuries saying the Jews drifted from unity, responsibility, and vigilance. But here's the twist nobody wants to touch. If that's the standard, then Christians have walked straight into the same trap, with their eyes wide open, humming hymns as they go. History doesn't just repeat, it has a sense of humor, and sometimes it's dark. The mirror nobody asked for. For generations, Christian theology insisted that the Jewish people lost divine favor because they became divided and complacent. Israel drifted, so God supposedly turned to a new people. It's a neat narrative, clean, convenient, and emotionally satisfying if you're the one claiming to be the replacement. But history has a habit of holding up a mirror at the worst possible moment. And when Christians look into that mirror today, the reflection staring back is uncomfortably familiar. The covenant that never expired. Let's start with the obvious. The Hebrew Bible describes God's covenant with the Jewish people as everlasting. Not temporary, not conditional, not transferable like a gym membership. If God is unchanging, then his promises don't come with an expiration date. And history backs that up. Despite exile, persecution, dispersion, and every attempt to erase them, the Jewish people didn't disappear. They returned, rebuilt, and reconnected with their identity in ways that defy every prediction. Replacement theology was never consistent with the nature of God, only with the interpretations of men who needed a narrative that made them feel chosen. The Christian blind spot. Many Christians believe they became the new chosen people because the Jews failed to stay united. But look at the last century. Across the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of Asia, ancient Christian communities, some older than Rome itself, were persecuted, displaced, or erased. Entire populations vanished. Churches that stood for 1,500 years were emptied in a single generation. And what did Western Christians do? They held conferences. They prayed vaguely. They posted a few symbolic messages. Then they went back to brunch. The same complacency they once used to judge the Jews became their defining pattern. The Jewish response, a global family. Here's where the contrast becomes undeniable. Jews learned from history. They learned from exile. They learned from centuries of being scattered and vulnerable. And they built something powerful, a global instinct of unity. It doesn't matter where a Jew lives, Paris, Montreal, Jerusalem, Sydney, Buenos Aires. If a Jew is threatened, Jews everywhere feel it. They respond. They protect. They mobilize. They do not ignore each other anymore. This isn't a slogan. It's a reflex. Jews act like a global family. Christians talk like a global family. That difference is everything. Christians claim unity, but don't practice it. Western Christians love the phrase, one body, but their actions tell a different story. When Christians in Iraq, Syria, Egypt, Nigeria, Pakistan, or Sudan were attacked or displaced, Western Christians barely reacted. There was no global mobilization, no instinctive protection, no unified response. Even now, as Christian communities inside Europe face new pressures, the pattern continues. Silence, fragmentation, and the belief that someone else will handle it. This isn't a loss of God's favor. It's a loss of human responsibility. And ironically, it's the same lesson Christians once claimed the Jews failed to learn, the mirror moment. If Christians truly believe that unity matters, vigilance matters, protecting your own matters, and complacency leads to decline, then they must apply that standard to themselves. Because the truth is simple. Christians didn't lose God's favor, they lost each other. They lost the instinct of global solidarity. They lost the reflex to protect their own communities. They lost the awareness that survival requires unity, not slogans. And until they reclaim that, the decline will continue. The Jewish example. A people who woke up. The Jewish people today are not perfect. No community is. But they did something extraordinary. They decided that never again would a Jew suffer alone. Never again would they ignore each other. Never again would they be divided when unity was required. This isn't about superiority. It's about learning from history. And Christians now stand at the same crossroads. Christians once believed the Jews lost God's favor because they drifted from unity and responsibility. But today, Christians face the same test. Not because God abandoned them, but because they abandoned each other. If they want to remain strong, relevant, and spiritually alive, they must learn the lesson the Jewish people finally embraced: a community survives when it refuses to ignore its own. A people stays strong when it stands together. And divine favor is not lost, it is lived.